My name is Pete North. I'm a landscape architect and I'm an assistant professor in landscape architecture at the University of Toronto.
Pete's a friend of mine, and he came out to visit the site here. He actually worked on a project, an art project that we were thinking about installing back here. And for a while I've had an idea of re-naturalizing the property, and he took that idea one step further with the idea of phytoremediation.
So phytoremediation is a process where trees and grasses can filter pollutants and toxins that are found either in stormwater running off the streets or that have moved into the soil and into the water table. So there are specific poplars and specific trees that have the ability to either break down those contaminants or to extract them from the soil. So it's a natural process, and it has the ability to clean the site and provide benefits for ecology and habitat creation as well.
So ever since we started AyA, one of our principal drivers has been to be sustainable and to pay attention to our natural environment. So we do that in many ways through our product and processes, but this is a very real way that we can have a positive effect on our local environment. The Etobicoke Creek, which we border, is really a wonderful waterway. And one of the things about the Etobicoke Creek is that it feeds into Lake Ontario, and so ultimately the water quality of the lake is a function of the tributaries that feed into it.
So today we've organized a community planting event, and we are restoring the eastern edge of the AyA Kitchens property. It's important to AyA because they have a beautiful property, a large-scale property that's situated along a rail corridor, and it's situated along a river corridor that are amazing networks for habitat and ecologies through the city. So the opportunity to expand on that network and to plant native species and to basically make that network larger and more resilient is a really amazing opportunity, and it's important for the health of our cities.
It's an interesting question how long it will take. We expect to see positive results within a few years, but the goal is to have a long-term plan for the project, which we imagine would span decades, not years. And this tree planting that we're doing today, where we're planting 400 trees, is just the first stage and part of what will be a master plan for the property, which will really focus on the whole property and how we can use the property to improve the surrounding environmental conditions.
Hi, my name is AyA, and having to plant trees was really nice here in the hot sun. And I like to plant the willow trees because the willow trees are my favorite kind of trees. It was really nice to work in the community here today.
We've been working on this site at AyA Kitchens and Baths for a little over 3 years, and it serves as a laboratory for the students, the landscape architecture students, some urban design students, and some architecture students, to get out on site and to plant trees and to research natural succession and phytotechnologies. So it's been a place where things that we talk about in class can actually be applied in the field. What's I think really important to note with this project is that grad students have used this site within course study, but many of them have continued to come back and connect to this site as well. 2 grad students that have played a role in the master plan design have continued to come back, and for me it's just incredible to see that and to see the connection to a site that was something we used in school, in class, and that they continue to have an interest in.
My name is Stacey Zonneveld. I'm a landscape architect and a former student of the Masters of Landscape Architecture program at the University of Toronto. Today the site is looking a lot different than it was on planting day. The trees are growing well and are looking good. The pergola and deck are complete, but we're still looking to install solar panels as well as a storage area for monitoring equipment. We are starting to monitor water and soil through sampling, but I think the major difference that we're seeing here today is this amazing meadow. Pallet piles are a major part of mine and Emily's original design for the site. They are stacks of recycled shipping pallets that were once used by AyA for their shipping processes. They are scattered throughout the meadow and are meant to catalyze biodiversity by providing shelter and nesting opportunities for birds and animals, as well as capturing seeds that are dispersed by wind and giving them a sheltered place to germinate. It was so great to connect with AyA staff and help them plant all of these amazing trees. It also felt great to feel like you're giving back and making the world a bit of a better place, and I think AyA staff felt that as well. And I also think it gives them peace of mind knowing that their employer cares so much about their work environment and the greater environment as a whole.
Hello, my name is Morgan Quinn. I'm a Master's of Landscape Architecture student at U of T. My past experience as a geologist has really underpinned my interest in this project. We're talking about subsurface water flow, groundwater, soil conditions, and how that relates to what we see at surface. What we've seen from past activities is there's tire marks, there's compacted soils throughout the site, and what we're hoping is through the natural attenuation process, the roots of the wildflowers and tall grasses will begin to break down the soils and create more porosity, which will allow more infiltration of rainwater, which can help dilute some of the contaminants. Throughout the summer, I took 30 samples of soil at the surface down to 12 to 18 inches using a hand auger. Put them in jars with water, shook them, left them overnight. When I returned in the morning, the different types of soil would have separated, so clay, silt, and sand. And from that, I recorded the percentage of each component. So with rabbits and rodents and other sources of food, we get predators. We've seen peregrine falcons, we've seen snakes, and we've seen coyotes that moved into the site. And, you know, your opinion on coyotes aside, again, it's a sign that the ecology here is starting to take root and will thrive in the future. Using a simple homemade device called a quadrat, I was able to estimate the percentage of each plant species on a 1 meter by 1 meter plot throughout the field. And we can now see the distribution of the naturally attenuated species that are coming into the site.
I see the site evolving into an incredibly rich and diverse landscape that is still part of the study at U of T. And then in 5, 10, 20 years, with the data that's collected, we'd be able to apply it to other sites, other similar sites, light industrial areas, and say these tree species are making a difference in the northern climate, and we can essentially start to make a difference on a wider regional scale.